Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings here in the GP2 division. Okay, so before we do anything else, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship because it's all changed here. I actually find the picture of it. I do apologise. I'll find it eventually. I'm already messing it up because it was sent a while ago. I do apologise. Here it is. GP2. So, GP2 standings are as follows. Mike Bundy is in P1 ahead of Electro Dan in P2. Gore Collins is in P3 and Peter Solheim is in P4. Yaram is in P5. Lee Nell is in P6. Ramavad is in P7. T. Johnson is in P8. Smelly Badger is in P9 and Cator is in P10. Outside of the top 10 is Farfborough in P11 and Owen in P12. Fester is in P13, though he stepped down for the rest of the season. And Twan is in P14, still struggling to fix his steering wheel. Orchard David is in P15 and James Braden is in P16. Honey Badger is in P17. Fotio is in P18. Z3 is in P19, and Leroy is not here tonight, is in P20. But as you notice, I mentioned some Premier driver names in that, and that's because due to the closure of the Premier Division, we have elected to move some of the as I hit the button, we've elected to move some of the Premier drivers to GP2, such as James Braden. So here are the new team standings, the new team orders. So in the Red Bull we have Lee Nell and Smelly Badger still. In the Mercedes we have Mike Bundy and Honey Badger. In the Williams, the first change, Yaram and James Braden. Then Electro Dan and Gold Colours is in the Toro Rosso. Z-Trexter and Leroy are in the Ferrari, both Premier. Z-Trexter being a Premier driver. Fester, though he has left SFR for the rest of the season, is in the Sauber, and Fotio, also from Prem, is in the Sauber. Peter Solheim and T. Johnson, same in the McLaren. Ram and Orchard Sox are in the Haas. Owen and Farfborough in the Renault, and Cator and Twan in the Force India. That's sorted. That's me all sorted and relaxed. 17 drivers tonight. Just waiting for all confirmation for everyone else as we're getting a few messages and all that. Sorry, it's a bit messed up tonight. I'm all on my lonesome tonight, so I can't. I won't be able to catch everything. We were trying to sort out drivers who were missing. It's funny. I just read out that message and it's put in the group chat. Anyway. Yes, tonight is obviously Germany here in GP2, sorry. And I did mention the fact that obviously we have closed the Premier Division for this season as we were struggling on numbers and it was taking a lot of time up trying to find new drivers mid-season. And we felt it was a bit of a struggle each time. Still, nonetheless, it's going to be a really exciting race. I'm going to be having some fun tonight, and hopefully the GP2 drivers, with the addition of some of the Premier drivers, will be able to show off and see what they can do on track. So I sip my water already. So just waiting on the green light as while we're doing this, I'm gonna put out a tweet saying that we are actually live on the YouTube channel. I believe we have just been given the green light to be going onto track, which will be brilliant to see all the drivers on there. And we'll see if we have. I think we have some GP3 drivers joining us tonight as well to bring us in. So it looks like we've got like two or three. We've got almost 2 or 3 divisions in here. Let's put this out. Make sure I can actually get a tweet out. The drivers look like they're readying up. Sure, I want to record. I am in spectator mode. Good. Sehr good. Live on. Here we go. This is how bad I have tweeting. I'm gonna read it out loud as I do it. And we're live. GAN phone autocorrect. Live on the YouTube channel. Come and check us out. Do apologise, I am like an old man when I'm tweeting. Send the link. I won't hashtag it because I can't be bothered. It takes too long. There we go. I need to just what's it called? Copy and paste those hashtags all the time because I always use the same ones. Okie dokie. So we've got a few drivers in here. And we are being sent over the track time now. So 10 seconds remain, and then we're going to be sent over the track side, and we'll see what these drivers can do on this Hockenheim circuit, and see what Formula 1 has for us here in Germany. Last night in GP3 gave us a brilliant race, which showed us that the race was fun, which showed us the race was tight and can always be affected by wet weather. And actually, our very own Red Bull driver, Smelly Badger, came across the line to win that race in GP2, GP3 even, and he's very excited to that. He said, though, that he doesn't think he'll be up there today in GP2, which I think is a fair assessment. He's struggled on pace against some of the new guys, and with some of the Premier drivers coming in, it's just only going to get harder for those types of for the older generation of drivers to come in and race. Obviously, I was part of the original generation of SFR, but here we go. Let's see. It's nice and let's run through the grid we have here, but it's nice and a little bit cloudy here in Germany. Before we do anything else, let's have a look at what we can do. We have James Braden in tonight, Honey Badger, who struggled in Monza, Electro Dan, Psychomich, Yaram, Psychomich from GP3, C. Pousley also from GP3, The Drexler, Scented Crumpets, J. Bjogan, Peter Solheim, J. Bjogan, who's from GP3 as well, do apologise, Smelly Badger, winner in GP3 last night, SFR Nino, Pro Oliver, GP3 driver in the Force India, Racing Point. T. Jonas is coming out of pit lane in the moment, I believe. God Colours, Luke Beck, also from GP3, Mike Bundy, Ryan Van Doom, my favourite supervillain from GP3, and Fotio. Rain at the end, says Bundy. GP3 says Hellgroove, yes. GP3 drivers obviously showing off what they can do. Scented Crumpets, the first driver out on track on the soft tyres here, the 69 car. It's interesting to always see what the GP3 drivers can do against the GP2 drivers. I'm trying to make the game louder in my ears so I can't hear it very well. Oh well. Rain at the end is very similar to conditions we had last night. So the GP3 drivers and Smelly Badger may have the edge on the other drivers. So Scented Crumpets, the first driver out on track, followed by Fotio. His first excursion down in GP3. Let's see what these drivers can do as they come towards their first qualifying laps here at Hockenheim. This is our stadium for this evening. Obviously, the final race here in Hockenheim. Whoa, Scented Crumpets just skimming the grass, getting it a bit wrong in his VJ. I think it's M90. I can't remember. Well, if I can get a nice shot of the barge boards, I can find out, but I can't remember. But the VJ machine trying to get its way around. What can that Racing Point machine do? DRS open on it as he runs down into turn 1. Turn 1 is treacherous here, taking a lot of curb. Now in and right, perfectly taking turn 1. What can Kator get up to in that car? Braking hard into turns 2 and then 3 up onto DRS straight, showing what he can do with DRS opening in just a moment now. DRS open now, and he's charging down. This really is not straight. DRS straight. Seems to be a little bit lagging there on the Force India side of things, but that's just down to it being on the softer compound, soft compound tyres versus the ultra soft compounds, which we saw struggling after 4 laps last night in GP3. Churning in nice and early for Scented Crumpets, maybe a little bit too early. He breaks down towards the first stadium section. Hello! On the inside. He gets that nice and turn around with a nice slide as well. Another little slide as he heads towards the second stadium section. This is where C. Paisley lost his rear end and crashed in qualifying last night. He's hoping to make amends for it. This is also where Sebastian Vettel ploughed off to in Germany last year. But no such dramas for Scented Crumpets as he's coming around the final couple of corners. We saw these corners were treacherous in the wet last night. We'll see that again later on. DRS opening as he tries to control his car on the curve. Crossing line. It's a 1 minute 13.07. His first lap out here in this German circuit. Lubeck running wide as Peter Solheim makes a mistake. Trying to find who's next over the line. I believe it might be Oliver. No, it won't be Oliver. Where's T. Jonas and all of this? T. Jonas will be close. In his McLaren, what can the McLaren Renault get up to? DRS opening. He's just starting his lap. I do apologise. So it's a Williams. It looks to be who is James Braden. James Braden crossing the line. No, just started his lap. Again, drivers trying to get it to all start their laps there. And it's Fotio going 2 seconds quicker in the Alfa Romeo. Just taking that crown of provisional pole position. That's brilliant there. Look at the Ferrari as They're trying to find his way through. Here's Bundy running the Ayrton Senna helmet. Yes, that's probably something we should mention today. Is the 25th anniversary of Ayrton Senna's death in Imola. Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Roland Ratzenberger's death at the same track. somber moment. But we elected not to do a minute silence for him, as we thought Senna would not want a minute silence for him. He'd rather have us actually turn up and just race. So we're racing for Ayrton tonight, as many drivers do, here on board with the defending champion who's had a struggling season in the McLaren. What can he do? Can he get up there? Luke Beck has put in a lap time on the medium tyres. This time T. Jonas coming through the GP2 champion, sorry. What can he do? Running out wide in the McLaren, the 81 car, trying to get it all turned in. DRS opening on the McLaren, crossing the lines, a 1 minute 14.3. Not the tidiest lap in the world, but still a good one. Here's the number 19, Electro Dan. What can he get up to? Do apologise, as I'm on my own tonight. Got to do a lot more talking. Electro Dan trying to get his car turned in again on the medium compounded tyres, learning from the previous race here last season. It's going to be a 1:16.4 for the Toro Rosso driver and championship leader. I believe he's championship leader. I think actually it's Bundy that's championship leader now. I do apologise. Here's Trexter in the Ferrari. First excursion out in GP2 in a while. Joined me on commentary last week. This time he's in the racing car, the 47. What can he get up to? No DRS though. Well, there's none open. He brakes in. Maybe he has a DRS problem. Trying to get the braking right on those medium tyres. It hasn't happened that time round. There is the Alfa Romeo of the other Ferrari of Psychomich as he avoids his teammate. What can the 47 get up to though? Last night Ferrari took victory over Mercedes. Mercedes wanting to snatch back that win at their hallowed home ground for them. Bundy has done a lap and is invalidated. Where is Honey Badger? He's done a lap and invalidated too by the looks of it. Turn 1 here is going to be treacherous. Zeke Trexter now coming across the line. What can he do? It's a 1 minute 15.3, but invalidated. Here's Bundy in the Mercedes. What can he get up to? Up and round as Lee Nell pops it in 10th. JV Ogun, another GP3 driver, jumping into 11th. 1 minute 22 lap. Here comes Bundy. That goes P6 for the Mercedes driver on the hardest compound of tyres. Here's Honey Badger in that glorious German machine. Frustrated last week after the drivers were knocking off the brake marker boards and he couldn't see them, which he's now got no racing line on, so he wants to be able to see what he's doing there, and it hasn't really worked when he couldn't have any brake marker boards, so he kept missing his braking point. Now coming up now, DRS opening on the car. It's a 1 minute 14.5, again invalidated. Let's have a look at Yaram in the Williams. I'd love to see this team do well. Coming up and round the final corner, what can he do? Powering, squirting that throttle. DRS opening, lots of oversteer as he crosses the line to start his lap time. We'll check in with him in a moment. Here's Steve Pasley. He's battled hard all the way through this season in other divisions as well as his own podium sitter multiple times in GP3. Battled hard with the Premier driver Gasly, and this time he's coming round. DRS opening on the Haas as a 1 minute 12.4, which puts him into third, matching his teammate who on a 1 minute 12.3. He's on a slow lap. His helmet matching the car though. Well done to Ryan. Here's Yaram. We said we'd check in with him, and he seems to be struggling on grip in the Williams, and he has abandoned his lap time. Here is Psychomich, our favourite nutcase. Braking hard into the hairpin, trying to get a lap in on the medium compound tyres for the first moments of it. Fotio out on a lap time now, currently 3 tenths quicker than anyone else. Do excuse me. I've got water in mugs tonight instead of pints, which is a bit odd. The 22 car now, the Ferrari, trying to find his way through, trying to not invalidate his lap as he turns in. Now, less aggressive as he tries to avoid his teammate there. Trying to get it all up and round. He's confident at this track. He fought hard through last night's race, but what can he do? No, he's bailing into pit lane. Maybe the medium compound tyres is not where he wants to be. Lienel now. Battled hard for the championship last season. Now he's all on his lows and struggling this season. Red Bull, maybe not the car he wanted to go to. Maybe he should have stayed with Toro Rosso for this season. Coming through towards the stadium section now. What can he do? We've not seen anyone make any mistakes through here. He's on the medium compound tyres. Is he going to bail into pit lane this time round? He's on a slow lap, so I think we might see him bail into pit lane to get some new tyres onto the car. Yes, he does, bail into pit lane. Got Ryan Van Doom ahead of him. Is he going to try to overtake him in the pit lane? Deciding not to. Let's go on board with Fotio. Current pole sitter. What can the 99 get up to as he pushes hard, try and improve on his position? Obviously, we saw him perform well, the Greek driver, in the Premier Division, but he wants to try and show his hand in the GP2 division. Still incredibly fast. Let's have a look at the relatives there. Pro Oliver has left the session due to lag, by the looks of it. The leader there 4/10 quicker, and the top 5 separated by just under a second. Yaran popping it into 6th. It's pushing everyone else down 1 position there as we drop it back to fastest lap. On board with Fotio now, just about to finish his lap. Is it going to be faster than the 1 minute 11.9? It is. It's going to be a 1 minute 11.2, going 6/10 faster in the Alfa Romeo, showing an amazing turn of pace. As you see, the Toro Rosso of gold colours now racing past a red car. I believe there's a Ferrari of Sykomich there. Yeah, that's the 22. And now we're on board with gold colours, the 89 car. What can he get up to here? He's had a brilliant season so far, and he wants to try and push harder. I'm not putting that, Hal. Hal putting that in the chat. Of that, I'm not allowing that to be put in the chat. Actually, technically, it's a quote from. I'm going to show that, but it's a quote from Kevin Magnussen, and it's all in good jest because he knows that Lee would probably do it. See, I do dictate what people put in the chat, not because of any bad things. Pro Oliver rejoins us there. Now, what can God Colors get up to? Not because of any bad things or any like God complex I have inside me. God Colors had a big oversteer moment. Just because I need to monitor what people are saying and make sure it's not anything bad. That one's alright. I know it's all in jest, that one. Up and wide, though. God Colors running very wide. It's going to be a 112.8, which pushes him into P5, showing how close this grid is. Oh, Lee now coming back with a scathing attack in the chat to Hal. Now, if you remember last season, T. Jonas crashed out of the race, had a massive oversteer moment on the worn tyres, and ends up in this barrier here. And now Sykomich running up and wide. The US Open. If you want to see what's happening in the chat right now, I'm not going to read it out on stream. But Sykomich in the Ferrari, what can he get up to? He's trying to set a lap in. He couldn't get one in on the medium tyres. This time, on the soft tyres, he might get a chance. Rear end slipping a little bit. Peder Solheim up in 6th. He's having a good run. Hopefully he can get up there. Have some fun and play with the big boys. Look at that, Mike Bundy only down in P9. So drivers pushing as hard as they can in this session here. So, championship leader down in P9, and his closest rival, Electra Dan, down in P17. Sykomich has jumped up to P11 though, so luckily for him, he managed to get one in. Honey Badger is on an out lap. He's on the medium. He's on the soft compound tyre. Sorry, keep getting it wrong. More attacking comments, but I might have to put collars on you two to make sure you don't actually go into each other. You're starting next to each other right now, so calm down. These drivers, why do we do this? Anyway, C. Pasley coming up and around the final little carousel section. Now up, big oversteer moment, heading towards the final corners now. That's one done, but bails into pit lane on the ultra soft tyres. It's a big risk to start the race on the ultra soft tyres. They only could do four laps after qualifying, so they really were pretty warm. The two-stop strategy was a struggle, but obviously with the rain coming, they might hope that the rain comes very early. I mean, have I got a timeline to any of the drivers in the stream chat now? If there's any timeline on when the rain could be coming? So now looking at the other Red Bull, GP3's winner and reserve driver Smithy Badger, who looks to have invalidated his lap now. The wings for life, obviously, for Aston Martin. Here's Honey Badger. He's on the lap now. As I said at the start of the show, he had an absolute mare in Italy. 45 minutes for rain. But that means probably about 5 minutes on track, to be honest. Honey Badger coming in. He had an absolute nightmare in what's it called? Around lap 20 to 25. So pretty much the same as yesterday. He had a mare in Italy, as I try and get to where I was saying, because the brake marker board's all being taken out on the formation lap, and he could then obviously not stop. But Honey Badger still trying to control that car, trying to get it all sorted. He's got some amazing pace, and he's going to revitalise that Mercedes team and try and push hard as long as they can. They were Constructors' Championship last year, and now we're going to see who wins the championship once more. So Honey Badger actually going to hopefully get this lap in now on the soft tyres. DRS opening as he slides down the order, and he goes at a P6, slashing his run and showing where his teammates should be. Here's Bundy. Excuse me. We haven't reached this race yet in Formula 1 2019, so I don't know how the 2019 cars would compare. But now you see Bundy with a nice little toe from what looks to be Luke Beck in the Alfa Romeo, just for a moment as the car spills up and round, trying to get that car turned in. He's got the pace. He definitely can improve on that 113.3. He's going to try and improve it sooner rather than later. Sector 3 yellow flags, I believe it's Luke Beck. Now Bundy coming around the carousel. Look how fast he takes the carousel. He won't have DRS as an advantage across the straight. He might do actually, sorry. Yeah, the DRS line. Right here, DRS opening now. Pushing hard into 111, 112.3 and pushing into third on the soft compounder tyres, showing he's the fastest driver right now on those tyres. See Pasley coming around the final corner now. 1 minute left to qualifying here. Minute and a half, sorry, left to qualifying in this session. DRS open, pushing hard. Just starting his lap comes Pasley. We'll check in with him in a moment. Here's Peter Solheim. And the championship leader in third now. He's putting his stamp now, trying to show what everyone can do. What can Peter Solheim do in that McLaren over 69 car? Round the final corner, DRS opening, drop for aggressive line. That's a 1 minute 12.4, puts him into sixth. Look how close this grid is. It's absolutely phenomenal. Sajkovic finishing his lap now, I believe, or just starting it. Yeah, just starting his lap. Here's Lee now. He's now dropping a few positions, obviously doing his first lap time on the medium jump on the tyres. Now wants to improve it. He'll have another lap. Oh, that's wide. That has not compromised it, though. What can the Red Bulls get up to? We'll jump on board with T. Jonas in a moment. Sector 1 and 2, yellow flags. But no damage here. No driver. He's going to be crashing out of qualifying yet. DRS open. Liedel, a 1 minute 12.8. Still 12th. No, yeah, just 12th, sorry. Here's T. Jonas. Going to try and respond to Lienel's, to the fighting talk they were having in the chat. And try and improve on his position. He looks to be, yeah, he's 4 tenths up on his time. That's going to put him close to Lienel. One more sector to go now. Yellow flags waving as he comes through the sector. Trying to control the oversteer. As he spears off ride. He thinks he's okay though. Trying to control that car. That's very messy there from the champion. He's wide. He's in the gravel. James Braden's out. T. Jonas into the barriers. The champion is out of qualifying here. Right at the final hurdle. Reversing on track. Trying to do what he was saying in the chat. And he drops to P15, sorry, after Sajkovic improves. And T. Jonas is out of qualifying here in P15. The champion out. What can Luke Beck get up to? Or is it Fotio's pole? James Braden pops up into second place. And he is quite a margin off Fotio. But here is one Alfa Romeo going to be on pole position. Is one Alfa Romeo going to be in the top 10? What can Luke Beck get up to? It looks like someone improved. JB Ogan pops up into... Oh, sorry, Steve Pasley, I want to say. But Luke Beck only managing P13. Fotio goes even quicker, a 111.1. And that is pole position for Fotio in GP2 here in Germany. What a phenomenal lap time. 111.4, 0.1 even. Point 4 is even fast, but the number 99, it's not Antonio Giovinazzi, it is Fotio, and he's looking really, really feisty tonight. And Luke and James Braden up there to join him. 2 Premier drivers locking out the front row. My cat meowing. Hello. And she'll take us through the grid. You gonna take us through the grid? You gonna talk through the... No? You smell my mug? I smell my mug. I love my mug. Alright, by 6/10, Fotio is in P1 ahead of James Braden in P2. Mike Bundy, championship leader, is in P3. Peter Solheim is in P4. Yaram is in P5. Ryan Van Doom is P6. Lee Dale is in P7. C. Passy in P8. Electro Dan in P9. JB Ogan, the GP3 driver, popping it into P10. Outside of the top 10, and with 3 tyre choice is God Colours in P11, Honey Badger in P12, Luke Beck in P13, Scented Crumpets in P14, Psychomich in P15, T. Jonathan in P16, Z Trexter is in P17, Smelly Badger is in P18. Pro Oliver did not get to set a qualifying time. Okie dokie diddly do, let's see what these drivers can do. I'm suddenly just became Ned Flanders for about 5 minutes. I do apologise for that. It's bright and sunny here in Germany. And I wonder when the rain clouds are going to hit. There's already some like whispery rain in top. Who else is looking forward to 2019 in the chat? I'm really looking forward to 2019. I've seen like... I can't wait for that game. Actually, today I pre-ordered MotoGP 19. Because I fancy having a try on the bikes. Because I found that they got Moto E in the game. And I really like... electric things. Everyone knows I love like Formula E and electric vehicles. But I'm looking forward to having a try on that. I might even suggest that SFR transfers and have some racing on MotoGP. But that is a completely other subject that may not even happen. We don't know. That's just me just blurting out random sentences about MotoGP now. Lee will be happy because he loves MotoGP. Fotio slow off the line for the formation lap though. Hopefully he didn't get to lay down any rubber though. So Fotio in P1. Let's have a look at it on the ultra soft tyres ahead of James Braden on the soft tyres. So watch out for Fotio on the start. He might disappear. Mike Bundy is in P3 on the soft tyres, and Peter Solheim is in P4 on the super softs. Yaram is in P5 on the yellow wall super soft, and Ryan Van Doom is in P6 on the ultra softs. Watch out for him off the line. Lienel jumping it into the top 10 of the softs, and C. Pasley with the ultra soft tyres is going to be right up behind him. Electro Dan on the soft tyres. Such a mix of strategies here. On the soft tyres is in P9, and JB Ogan rounds up the top 10 on the ultra softs. 4 drivers on the ultra soft tyres in the top 10. Watch out for them on the line. God Colours in P11, first driver on the medium compound tyres ahead of Honey Badger, also on the medium compound tyres. Luke Beck on the soft compounded tyres in P13, and Scented Crumpets is in P14 on the medium compounded tyres. Psychomich on the mediums P15. T. Jonas, after crossing line backwards, is in P16 on the medium compounded tyres. Z Trexter is in P17 on the medium compounded tyres, and it would be Smelly Badger in P18 on the medium compound. Then there's Pro Oliver in P19 on the soft tyres. There we go. Who's excited? This is going to be absolutely fantastic coming into this race. I'm so excited to see what these guys can do and what these guys are going to get up to. Luke Beckin is qualified for the session right again. Look at the way his car is positioned. Hopefully that's not putting up for it at the start of this race. Alright then. Who's excited? I certainly am. Who's ready for 34 laps of racing here in Germany? Do recall, as I'm on my own, I can't catch all the action, so I apologise if I miss stuff. But I'm going to push on and try my best. I have got a massive cold right now. Well, not cold, I've got like a stuffed up nose. So, on the grid now, waiting for 5 red lights on the gantry. On board, the yellow flags fly for a moment, and there we go for the lighting. Lighting gantry lights up to 5 red lights here in Germany. The lights are out, and the drivers are away instantly. It's a good start from James Braden in P2. A better start though for Fotio off the line on the ultra soft compounded tyres, flying away. And there comes movements. Lienel dropping out of position in P8. Where's he? He's trying to muster his way past the Hasses. The fast on the Hasses. What was that from the Hasses? C. Pasley running to the back and creating absolute chaos. It may have been Ryan Van Doom actually. Sector 1 and 2. We have yellow flags. JB Ogan dropping down positions. As I try and move around my cursor, more positions dropping. And JB Hogan looks like he's gone around for a spin. And left down, dropping a position to Honey Badger, driving fast. Now down the inside comes Honey Badger, locking up into the hairpin, and everyone trying to find their way through, driving like it's absolutely madness here. Ryan Van Doom forced off track, and now they're all trying to find any way through. Drivers going side by side. Mike Bundy into P9. He had a shocker of a start. It's behind his teammate Electrodan, hitting the back of the Mercedes. And drivers all trying to find their way through. I apologise if I'm missing most of it, but Yaram fast starting up into P3, and a Haas just making a mistake into turn 1 caused a major incident. Both Toro Rossos now swapping positions, just being kicked up by one driver ahead. And now we're going to try and sort it. Centre Crumpet dropping a position to the Ferrari of Z-Trexter, who's on their way at the back, has got up there. Honey Badger now starting to attack. Lionel Focho loses away on one lap, one tyres. And look at that. Sector 3, we have a yellow flag. It looks to be Ryan Van Doom in the pit lane. Luke Beck attacking. He makes contact with Electro Dan. Not sure what's happening here tonight. And drivers all trying to find their way through. Penner Solheim on the attack, trying to find a way past Lionel. Both on the soft compounded tyres. These two made contact in Abu Dhabi last season. And now they're going to come at it. This time, Penner Solheim trying to find his way through. Lionel trying to muster his way to stay ahead of the Norwegian. Norwegian wiggling his rear end. Living life even lobby today. And there, Honey Badger almost running into the back of these guys. And then Lionel almost losing his front wing on the back of Penner Solheim. Honey Badger now getting involved. Lionel losing a position to Honey Badger. And Honey Badger is going to be the one trying to attack Penner Solheim, trying to go down the inside. No, not yet. The race is on for the championship here in Hockenheim. And it's only going to heat up. Trying to find the closest battle on track right now. It looks to be this one. Lionel right in the back of Honey Badger. Remember, he's on the fastest compound tyres. He's got to get past Honey Badger sooner rather than later in order to make it through. What a messy start there as we go on to lap 2 here in Germany. Already a 2-second gap though between the top two. James Braden, the faster driver though. He's right up behind. DRS has been enabled. It is now lap 3 and now they're going to have that assistance pulling them along. It's going to get mighty, mighty entertaining. On board with Z-Trexter now as he comes up behind as Z-Trexter actually gets a time penalty. Let's go have a look at the lead at the top. Fotio going to be struggling to battle against James Braden. Electro down, retiring from the session in sector 3. That's his championship struggling there. Sector 1, yellow flags further down. Now James Braden considering a move down the inside. It hasn't happened though. As drivers now jostling for positions to head towards the hairpin. Look at that, Lionel unfortunately having to move around a little bit as he almost runs into the back of Honey Badger, misjudging his way through. Z-Trexter has passed God Colours over in the hairpin, and Fotio passed by James Braden. Now Fotio fighting back, trying to go back around the outside of Braden, with Braden running him out wide, and Fotio understandably is going to be a little bit annoyed at himself for that. I will read that in a moment, but now here we go. Fotio having a look to try and find a way straight past. Hasn't happened so far. So they're all going to hopefully calm down in a bit so I can find out what's been happening. But let's have a look at Lionel as he gets closer. Keep an eye though on the top. Looks like a bit of lag from the higher ups there. Lionel has dropped a little bit further back though. Here comes Fotio trying to go for the attack on James Braden. He's got the faster compound tyres. Dan not happy with his personal race. Oh, it's alright, mate. Mistakes are made. Should look back at last season's race for T. Jonas. DRS open now. Fotio on the attack on James Braden, trying to find his way round the outside. Picking an interesting line. James Braden locks up into the hairpin, but he continues to stay ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Honey Badger now trying to find his way past the McLaren. They're both catching up to Steve Pasley. They're dragging Lionel along. The gap at the top still closed. The battling there has increased the time that Yaram's starting to get closer and closer as well. The gap's starting to extend a little bit. Here's Lionel on the back of Honey Badger. He doesn't want to pass Honey Badger, but this will not be doing his tires any good. Honey Badger big slide there for the Mercedes. And now we're on board with Petter Solheim following the McLaren to see if he can get past the Haas soon. No, the Haas bails into pit lane. Damage on his tyres has been done. And this time, Fotio getting a time penalty, joining the likes of Z-Trexter with that time penalty. And now Lionel running wide. DRS open on the Red Bull. Can he get closer? He didn't have the run this time round. He's not going to have the run on the Badger as of yet. This time, though, Honey Badger will not have the defense of DRS from Petter Solheim. And now Lionel can focus on full attack on that Mercedes. Has he got the pace? Is he going to chuck it up the inside like Daniel Ricciardo could? He's gone for it. He has pulled along the inside. The under rotation on both cars. They start to get round. Lionel battling as hard as he can. The Honey Badger does stay just ahead of the Red Bull. Lionel employing the Daniel Ricciardo-esque tactic there. And Honey Badger going that wide though. Honey Badger making a big mistake on traction. This time Lionel does make it stick. And now Mike Bundy on his way through. There's going to be team orders saying let your teammate through. But remember, that will put him in under pressure from the Ferrari behind of Z-Trexter. They've got to make it quick if they are going to swap positions. Battle at the top comes down as Yaron passes Fotio. That's now Williams 1 and 2 here in Germany. As Fotio pulls into pit lane to relinquish these ultra soft tyres from the car. Oliver trying to find his way through and past Sajkovic. And this time Sipazzi on the attack. To go on board with Z-Trexter though, he's trying to get past Bundy. Central Crumpets with a time penalty. And Bundy, DRS open, is going to have the attack. Honey Badger attacking once more. Honey Badger gaining closer and closer to Mercedes, running much lower drag on the car. Down the inside on the Red Bull. The Red Bull dropping a position. And then Z-Trexter in the background doing the same on his teammate. One Mercedes passes and gains a position. The other one repasses as Mark Bundy was able to get the car back in tow. Lionel, is he going to try down the inside here? He does not. He knows that corner tightens too heavily. And he knows that Honey Badger's starting to put pressure on himself with the lockups. Paul Oliver has passed Sipazzi there as they're all starting to attack each other. Drivers hopefully remembering this is a race of attrition and the rain will come. Paul Oliver going very wide there before we switch camera angles back up to Lionel. We're actually going to drop back to Z-Trexter though, who's a little bit closer. Paul Oliver dropping position to Sipazzi, so battling hard has cost him that position. We'll jump back and have a look at that in a moment. DRS opening now. And Mike Bundy a second behind Lionel, who's trying to get closer to Honey Badger once more. These guys doing an absolutely brilliant job of giving us a battle tonight. And Z-Trexter not close enough yet, and they're pulling gold clothes back into play. Let's have a quick look at Sipazzi, who's trying to go around the outside of Sajkovic, down the inside, for turn one. He cuts it dramatically, and then gets awarded a turn penalty for it as well. JB Ogan into pit lane, further down the field. And Sajkovic, what a brilliant job trying to go down the inside. But there's contact there between him and Oliver. Going to jump on board with the other Ferrari of Z-Trexter. He's on the back, but he hasn't made the move stick. They have got gold colours right up behind him now. Fotio dropping him. Fotio way off track. He's retired on track. That's against the rules there. And he's going to be right in the middle of a track. And it's contact. And that's why we do not retire on track in SFR. That will be a penalty to Fotio for ruining Sajkovic's race right there. I won't censor my words there. I will not censor my words. Because that was just stupid. It's blatantly against the rules in SFR to do that. Lionel pits to get out of traffic, to try and get on new tyres for the rain coming. And now Z-Trexter, another time penalty. He tries to hunt down Mike Bundy. Mercedes 4 and 5. As Mike Bundy with DRS helping him through there. But now Z-Trexter has got the run to try and pass him. DRS open on the Ferrari as he lines up the Mercedes with a massive tow. Yellow flags. It looks like Sajkovic dropping down a few more positions. We'll jump in a minute. The Ferrari down the inside. What can Bundy do? Bundy trying to hold it around the outside, then swapping to the inside. And he has, as he pits for a new front wing. And that's all down to just stupidity there. It's JB Ogan cutting a hefty amount of track, trying to find where it is there to get back to the pit lane with his damaged front wing. So Mike Bundy now, he's behind Z-Trexter. He's going to want to get past him soon again. He's on the faster compound tyres. Remember, the race is still going to be run here in Germany. It's very entertaining so far. So 9 laps down out of 34. James Braden and Yaram, P1 and P2. Z-Trexter the fast amount of track. Sector 3, yellow flags, waving even more. Trying to work out where it is. Pasley dropping a position to lead now. Pasley has had a major oversteer moment, has just destroyed a Pirelli P05 sign, or was it a DHL? One of the two. So it seems that the Haas is struggling in these conditions. So here is Gold Colours trying to find his way past Mike Bundy. He's a little bit far back for this corner, but look at the powerful DRS here. Unfortunately, we have a massive amount of Honda noise there coming from the engine, so we won't be going on board as much with him as I would like to. Coming up and through the fast kink, heading towards the back of the Mercedes. Maybe the soft tyres are starting to go a little bit. Only 7 laps in. Oliver on the ultra soft tyres again, swapping to those tyres rather than sticking with the harder compound tyres, pushing on forwards. But still, what can Gold Colours do? The Mercedes seems to have the pace, but it depends what tyres. Oh, Mike Bundy, big oversteer, step out there as he tries to control that car. And he does bail into pit lane. What are the Mercedes crew going to do? So as not to crash into pit lane, as I so often have. And he pulls into there. What do? Rushing out as fast as they can, get it all set up. Medium compound tyres go onto the Mercedes. And a new front wing too. Where did he break that? I'm not too sure. Dropping down, Bundy is going to be released. It looks like a lag release. There it is. Let's have a look at the leader now. James Braden, 9 laps done on those tyres ahead of Yaram in P2. Williams 1-2. And a big moment there for Pedal Solheim in P3. Sector 3's yellow flags waving once more. Is that C. Pasley? No. Still waving. Further back. It's Pro Oliver. He's broken his front wing. And he's trying to get out of the way of the Ferrari Sajkovic, who's trying to work his way back up after the collision with Fotio's ghost car. The stewards are already shouting in my ears about that incident, and I'm sure that'll be looked at. And I wonder if Pro Oliver has had enough of this race. I don't believe he has, but we'll see as he pulls into pit lane. Pulls in. Is there any notice from him saying, as Yaram actually pits at the same time? And Pedal Solheim goes into P1, and Oliver, yes, he has had enough of this race. He's had enough of the spinning and the crashing. And now he is going to be deciding to pit for the rest of the race. We will see. We'll see him next week in GP2 when they take on Baku. GP3, sorry. Pedal Solheim into P2 now, and he's got a 7-second gap to James Braden ahead. The only Premier driver left in this race, I believe. Oh, Z-Trexler was here. So let's try and find out who's trying to gain closer. Here's Luke Beck in the Alfa Romeo. What can he get up to? He's a little bit way back from Ryan Van Doom ahead of him. So what can the 94 do? I find it interesting to look at Luke Beck's helmet, because it doesn't look like a helmet I recognise. I can tell the design. T. John, so with a time penalty down in P14, struggling on this track as he did last season. Trying to find a gap which is coming down, and I believe it's as James Braden pits. Let's have a look at what the Williams are going to get up to. Williams pitting from P1 and P2. 1 in P6 as he gonna open himself up to come up behind it. Medium compound tyres though going on to the Williams number 15. Drop down and off he goes. James Braden, a very quick stop there. I'd love to see the time of that. Pedal Solheim is now a leader and Honey Badger in P2. James Braden does come out just ahead of his teammate though, with a gap of a little bit there. Yaram quite far back from his teammate. Luke Beck still closing, but he's not the closest battle on track, so just see Zeke Trexler creep under the second mark as he's still hunting down Honey Badger. He dispensed of one Mercedes this race, and now Zeke Trexler hunting down the other. Whoa, a little bit of a slide there. See Pasley getting a time penalty in P10. Maybe Honey Badger's tyres are starting to get a little bit warm. We saw him locking up earlier. Maybe he's just starting to struggle a little bit more. He's going out wide, but he managed to control the car, so he didn't. Skipping the grass there. Lots of drivers doing that, as shown by Z-Trax are doing it as well. Maybe it's the medium tyres helping them turn in a little bit sharper. 8 tenths separating the Ferrari and the Mercedes. McLaren on top right now, but it's all to change. Remember, the top 4 here have not pitted yet, and it's lap 12 out of 34 here. We had a prediction of about lap 20 to 25 as the skies start to darken in sector 1 of the rain coming down. We'll keep an eye on the car's monopods as the rain is coming here in SpeedForce Racing. Honey Badger with a time penalty adding to his time. As Z-Trucks are closing in, dramatically on the brakes. Ooh, almost looked like he ran into the back of him, but he didn't. The Norwegian driver trying to get past the Dutch driver. The Flying Dutchman versus the Nautical Naut. I don't know. I'm trying to think of names for nationalities at this point. The Norwegian driver. That's all I'm looking for. Oh, contact as he just slides into the back of Honey Badger. Honey Badger, the Dutch driver, will not be happy about that. A little bit of a weed there. That's code for driver speak there, saying get out of the way, hand that back. You hit me off. I don't believe Z-Chester will though. I think Z-Chester is gonna definitely push for that and say take it to the stewards after the race. And it might just be I had a terrible angle, so they can't take my angle on it. Luke Beck now trying to get past Ryan Van Doom for P11. Within a second mark, it's all going to come up rosy though for the Alfa Romeo, who looks to be quicker right now, deploying most of his ERS. Ryan Van Doom is going to be the one to start looking in his mirrors. Under a second, under 5 tenths, now back up to 5 tenths. Pedal Solheim does pit, the first one of the top 4 to pit in a while. James Braden on the back of God Colours, getting closer and closer there as well. And here we go, the Alfa Romeo getting a better line than the Haas. And what can he do? 3 tenths separating the battle at the top for James Braden. He's going to have a look on this DRS straight. Look at that, God Colours going defensive. It's going to be no help though. Here we go, round the outside comes the Williams. Williams get past the big lock up there as Honey Badger chucks it up the inside and makes it move for the lead. James Braden squirting the brakes there, locking up himself. A little bit of a tap from behind. Do excuse me. And he has made it stick. Here we are, back on board with Luke Beck as he starts to get closer. Oh, actually, no, we're going to jump up to Z-Chester, who's aggressively trying to get back into P1, is the Norwegian driver. And he's looking for, oh, big oversteer moment for Honey Badger. Managing to catch it. And now Yaram wanting to do what his teammate did on God Colours. Ryan Van Doom has lost the position to Luke Beck though. But the battles at the top are raging. DRS opening on Yaram's car as he aggressively gets past Colours of the God. DRS opening, he's got to push hard. He's got to decide that he decides to lift off, not wanting to push hard. Not wanting to push too hard and hit him, trying to get him on the long straight now. DRS opening on the Ferrari once more. We've seen this before. This time, going to go on board with him as he runs up behind the Mercedes. He's got the toe. Look at that. The Dio and the slipstream pulls aggressively to the inside. Linnell with a time penalty. Still on board with him. On board with Honey Badger at this point, trying to get up and under it. And this time, Z-Chester does lead the race and leads it cleanly. Colours of the God drops behind Yaram, now trying to get past. Remember, his tyres are 14 laps old. Honey Badger right in the back of him once more. Got to try and think of it. Is he trying to hold out for the rainy conditions? We saw this last night with drivers pushing hard. Linnell bumping and bashing his way past Castle. And Castle losing that position as well. Our favourite supervillain, Ryan Van Doom, trying to make a move on the sly. Definitely not Luke Beck. And it has made a move. And the 94 dropping past the 99. More contact there as they just clipped each other's wheels. And GP2 lighting up the timing boards as they're trying to find their way past and trying to find where they are right now in SFR's pace range. Prologue leaving the session after earlier deciding he didn't want to continue with the race. Had a brief team debrief, and now here's the championship leader Mike Bundy. P9 trying to make it through and past P8. Another shot here. I think Centre Compass is running a nice damaged front wing on the front of that car. And he has made the move stick. Down the inside of turn 1, that's aggressive, and it has worked. Centre Compass though coming back at him actually. With the DRS, sorry. Trying to go around the outside, and Bundy just showing him how it's done. Making the move stick, but it's not totally done yet. Castle trying to come back at him. James Braden down the inside of Honey Badger, both locking up. And there's bound to be contact in a moment. There was a little bit of a tap there between the Mercedes and the Williams. And Williams trying to hold its way round the outside. And it hasn't stuck. It is sticking now. What can he do? Aggressively fighting all the way through Sector 2s. And then up into Sector 3. What a run there. We saw Bundy trying to make his way past Centre Crumpets on the tower. We didn't get to see the actual move. Now we'll see what can happen. Can Williams make a move past the other Mercedes of Honey Badger? DRS open. Here comes James Brayton. Down the inside of turn 1, we saw him having a bigger contact on both rounds. Honey Badger into the wall, and he's out of the session. James Brayton just aggressively trying to make the move stick, and it hasn't happened. Honey Badger, unfortunately, out of the race here in Germany. No safety car has been called, though. One Mercedes remaining, and I don't care to make any judgment on that move. Now, Luke Beck into the barrier there, trying to control his Sauber. He has damage. He sat there trying to compromise where he sat. Sector 1's yellow flag still waving for the stricken Mercedes. Right now, there will not be a Mercedes on the podium at their home Grand Prix. It is raining now here in Germany, as we saw it last night. This time, it started to rain on lap 17, so Lionel and the Red Bull guys were wrong. DRS open, Mike Bundy, this time trying to do it all for Mercedes, trying to get the move stuck around the outside of the Racing Point, who nearly chops his wing off. Mike Bundy, Star Wars man, trying to get his way through. I might just call him Starman. David Bowie reference there. But it hasn't stuck yet. He can't get past that Racing Point. Now he's going to start thinking about the tyres, about the rain. Is this rain going to be heavy enough for intermediates? I believe it might just be. This time down the inside, aggressively down the inside at the carousel, and he does make the move stick, bumping and bashing his way past the Racing Point. Racing Point getting a better exit though, getting close to the back rear tyre of that car, but does not slice it off. So what race leader right now is the Trexter from Yarum from 2 seconds, and I believe there'll be comments in the race, in the chat, after that mass collision we saw. And my phone is starting to play up again. Centre Crumpets though still on the attack on Mike Bundy. The rain only coming down heavier now, waiting for it to start settling on the car. That's when we know it's settling on track, and we can even start thinking about the intermediate tyres that may possibly come into play later on in the Grand Prix. T. Jonas with another time penalty, that's 6 to his name. And now looking at the Force India, the Racing Point car of Centre Crumpets. But James Brayton, though, starting to get closer. Might jump up and have a look at the Williams in a minute. What can Centre Crumpets do? He's taking a look there. No rain is settled on the car yet, so it's not raining enough to settle on the cars. Let's have a look at James Brayton. DRS opening on the Williams. And the car is starting to settle on the cars there. It was caught on stream, Tom. Better take that to the stewards though. DRS open on James Brayton as he starts to push hard along and past God Colours. The rain is starting to settle on the track, and God Colours dropping down a position, not wanting to fight Brayton too much. But he does run into the back of him. Little love tap there for the Williams. Remind you, I'm still here, don't worry. And the drivers pushing as hard as they can in these conditions. Obviously the rain's starting to come down. Maybe we'll see the drivers have to bail in sooner rather than later. Might be lap 20 that we see the rain tyres come into play. There's no call though for the DRS to be shut down. The track is getting greasier by the second. And Luke Beck into pit lane. We're going to go on board with him into pits. He gets a stop and go penalty for speeding into pit lane. That's a shame. But are they intermediate tyres going onto the car? Let's have a look. New front wing, and those are the green intermediate tyres. He's retired from the session though. He's had enough. But those, and he's decided before he retired that is time for the intermediate tyres to come into play. Green flags are waving. And now Sector 3's yellow flag persists. Not sure who. Psychovic, so actually does go onto the intermediate tyres. Maybe the first driver on the call. He saw it last time we saw it last night where Smelly Badger pitted very early for it. And I said it'd be lap 20 where we saw the green tyres come onto track. But we saw last night Smelly Badger pushing for the wet conditions early and it ended up in a victory for him. Z-Truckster struggling. The DRS opening on Yarum's car. No DRS. I forgot where we were on track. He comes round up into Sector 3, heading towards that sector. He is within a second, but DRS still active in these greasy and wet conditions. Eyes forward, the Smelly Badger pulls into pit lane once more, doing the strategy that he tried to do last night, getting the wet tyres on nice and early to rub them in and trying to push them on hard. Z-Trex though, got his eyes on trying to stay in P1. Maybe he's been called into pit lane. Do either of his drivers pit? Yes, Z-Trex are making a beeline for the pit lane. Same as Yaram. Where's James Braden? What does he do? Honey Badger leaving the session, understandably frustrated. Double stack for the Williams squad. What do? Let's have a look at it. Yaram coming in. Let's go on board with James Braden. He's going to have to stop. Gold Colours getting a time penalty. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a slow stop there for both Williams. They've got to get the tyres on. Here's James Braden. Dropping it down, dropping him out. And there we go. Sector 3's yellow flags waving. Mike Bundy will be putting in the pit line this moment. Yaram is our race leader after jumping Z-Strector, who got stuck in the pit lane by other drivers pitting. More drivers pitting under these conditions. Maybe there's another position gained for it. Sector 3's yellow flag. DRS has been disabled. JB Ogan struggling to get the car turned in, and he is round, and the Haas continues on of Ryan Van Doom. So he's going to be in a bit of a treacherous situation here. James Braden now on the back of Gold Colours. We saw him struggling to get past him last time, both on the intermediate tyres now. Down inside comes James Braden. Double lock-up, though, for the Williams as he tries to get up and past him. What can he get up to, the number 15? Closest battle on track is these gentlemen here. Lap 21 out of 34 here, around the time that we had the rain last night. And Braden, whoa, big oversteer moment for Gold Colours. And James Braden trying to find his way through. Under a second now, and he just drives it up the inside like it's nobody's business there. And just driving through. P3 now for James Braden. His first race in GP2, definitely showing how difficult it is. Let's have a look at Ryan Van Doom. How much is he struggling on the medium compound tyres? I know it says the soft compound on the screen, but it is medium compound. He drops the position to Bundy. He's got to be careful. Rejoining the track though. Here comes Central Compass. No, he's a while back now. And yeah, he's off in the gravel. Ryan Van Doom unfortunately making a mistake. Trying to wheel out to see if the rain will allow him to continue driving, but it's clearly too wet for those tyres. Maybe tonight we'll be seeing the extreme wet tyres come into play right at the end. We still have time for the rain to come down heavier. And the Haas pulling into pit lane. If he can get there at least. He's got to be careful. Here comes Cedric Cummins. Whoa, almost contact. And he cuts the corner this time to come into pit lane rather than to get out. Hamilton, if you're watching, which I very much doubt you are. Let me just take a moment to have a sip. And we'll do a race rundown of who's where in these conditions. Alright, so as the rain intensifies here at Sector 2, yellow flags. Let's see who's in Sector 2 so we can find out who's there. Sector 1 seems like a half spin for someone. It might have been Bundy. I think it was Mike Bundy. Does Mike Bundy have damage? Mike Bundy has no front wing. The championship leader is in peril as he can't stop his Mercedes. He always hates the wet. If we look back to USA in 2018, season 3, and Mike Bundy is in absolute peril. The Mercedes, they retained him, and he still hasn't improved in the wet conditions, and that is possibly the points over for the Bunster. The man running the Ayrton Senna tribute helmet in peril as he comes up into Sector 3, trying to get that car slowed down on this greasy track is not good. He's going to drop down even more as JB Ogan unlapping himself from the P10 driver. And look at this, a sad sight for the Mercedes on hallowed ground, a worst day for Mercedes. I wonder what happened. I wonder how big a spin it was as he pulls in past the German flag. Running up on the gravel, and he pulls into the lane to get serviced. He will continue on in this race, knowing Bundy he will, as the team runs in. I wonder why they aren't always as ready. Sector 2 and 3, yellow flags. I'm not sure who they are. Sector 3 yellows. Not JB Ogan, so it's further back. James Braden now. Excuse me, much more confident in the wet than Z-Trexter by the looks of it. Maybe going for a hybrid setup. Good in the wet, good in the dry. And what can he do? Braden trying to control that Williams. Can we have a Williams 1-2 tonight? I said I wanted to see that team do well in SFR. I love Williams. Everyone knows I do. I've expressly said that if I ever come back to racing in SFR, I want to either race in the Formula 2 division in Formula 2 if we have the Formula 2 cars, or in the Williams Grand Prix, because I love that car. But now the Williams getting closer and closer to Ferrari. And it hasn't happened yet. No DRS to assist him. Who's got the fastest straight line speed? It looks to be the Williams. That's the first time I've had to say that in a while. Trying to go down the inside here. It's going to be an aggressive move. Trying to pass Z-Trexter. It has. Has it worked? Z-Trexter leaving the door open. There's going to be contact as Z-Trexter gets forced off the line, off the racetrack. And James Breton has made the move stick. And the rain suddenly intensify here in Germany. Z-Trexter aggressively down the inside, trying to put James Breton off. It has worked. James Breton running out wide, side by side, as they run up wide. Is it a British team or is it an Italian team that's going to go worse? And, excuse me, Z-Trexter dropping down a position. Couldn't hold it around the outside, unfortunately, getting forced out wide, and he hits the gravel even more. Here comes God Colours in the Italian Toro Rosso, trying to find his way through. And he's within a second instantly with that mistake from the Ferrari. What can God Colours do at this point in time? DRS gonna... Whoa! Big oversteer moment for Z-Trexter. That's cost him the podium. And that battle with James Breton has inevitably created a Williams 1-2 in Germany. We saw Williams on pole back in 2014 here at Germany. But now they're leading the race 1 and 2. Z-Trexter is going to try and come back at him. He's cleaned off his tyres. No DRS to help him though on the straight. He's quicker by a little bit as he comes up and thinking about going down the inside, trying to find the wet line, the karting line here in Germany. And he gets so, look at that, so much more confident in the brakes. He hasn't damaged front wing, big slide in the rear end, and now the race is intensifying. Smelly Badger making it into the top 10 by pitting early. What's Z-Trexter's plan here? 3 attempts away from the driver in front. Is he going to fight as hard as he did with James Breton, or has he learned his lesson? That front wing definitely hurting his time. Maybe we'll be seeing those extreme wets come in. That will help him with being able to change his wing. Psychovic in P13, his teammate, not going to really interfere with him. Here we go with Smelly Badger on the straight. What can he do? A little bit further back from Centre Crumpets. He wants to make it and get up close to his teammate. A 6-7 for Red Bull would be absolutely phenomenal for that team who started quite low down. Well, for the driver, Smelly Badger, that started low down. He loves these conditions. We saw it last night. He won a race. And he's always said, I think he said about P8 he'd be happy with. So he wants to always improve. He has the speed on Centre Crumpets ahead, but he's got to stay consistent in the corners. Whoa. That middle sector is troubling here in Germany. Trying to find a way around. Ooh, running up on the curb a little bit. Is the Pirelli P0 starting to struggle? Maybe these cars need those full wets on. I don't think so yet. It's not raining hard enough for the full wets. There's not enough spray. I would love to see the full wets though. It's very rare you see the full wets in this game, which really aggravates me because I love that. Centre Crumpet struggling. 22 seconds away from Lionel. And the battle's only intensifying as we look at the Red Bull of Smelly Badger. So just had word. If you're wondering why I'm on my own tonight, Alex has fractured his hand, falling out of his wheelchair. We hope that he gets better soon. Centre Crumpet going in here. He actually raced last night and it aggravated his fracture a little bit, so he had to go to the hospital because he was hurting a little bit more. So get well soon, Alex, and we'll hopefully see you next week on commentary. He said that he can't race for a while, so hopefully Toro Rosso can find a suitable driver to take his seat for a while. But obviously we know that Alex will be back fighting as hard as he can. Our favourite. We hope that he can get back up here on commentary as soon as he can, as soon as he feels up to it. It's a little bit late. That 27 out of 34 here in Germany, as I try and get through that little soppy moment of myself. Oh, I feel all soft inside and gooey. Will we see the extreme wets come out onto the cars? Z-Trexter getting close to God Colours once more. Smelly Badger getting close to Centre Crumpets. So, but that gap may come down, may grow a little bit there as they both struggle onto the pit straight. Here's Z-Trexter. Right up behind the Toro Rosso. And so much more confident on the brakes. A little bit more, too confident there as he clips the back of the diffuser. And Smelly Badger, he's close. No cigar though, as he tries to find his way through. He's been battling with this Force India for a long time now, and he wants to get his way through. We hold our breath as you see him go to the attacking line, trying to put Senti Crumpets off. But Smelly Badger comfortably sitting there, wanting to find his way through. Senti Crumpets doing an amazing job of defence here. Let's see what it's like on board in this section here for the Red Bull. He's running a little bit wide, hitting the grass there, wet grass. And F1 cars do not mix whatsoever. Up and round, and he's, whoa, big kick there as he controls the car. Turning in and trying to find his way back through. He knows that he can get past him, and that's the tantalising thing. The gap closes and it grows once more, and he knows he can get through, and it's absolutely annoying him. God Colours, though, has that a spin or something, but Z-Trexter gaining a huge amount of time on the Toro Rosso, and he has made it work. And this time, the Toro Rosso cannot fight back. Z-Trexter back onto the podium here in Germany. Williams, Ferrari is our top three here in Germany. Yarum leading James Braden, his premier teammates, ahead of Z-Trexter. God Colours in P4, Peter Solheim in P5, Lee Nell in P6, Senti Crumpets in P7, Smelly Badger is in P8, though not for long as he starts hunting down Senti Crumpets. P9 is Cipazzi, P10, Ryan Van Doom, P11, T. Jonas, P12, Mike Bundy, P13, Sykovich, P14, JB Ogan. Down the outside comes Smelly Badger. There's big tyre contact as he tries to make it stick, and he cannot. That was one aggressive move, and it did not work that time. Drivers that will play no further part in this race are Luke Beck, who decided that he'd had enough after he got his stop-and-go penalty. Honey Badger after a collision at turn 1. Paul Oliver deciding that he didn't want to continue. Fotio, unsure why he retired, but he has caused a major incident, so he'll be looked at by the stewards. Electro Dan as well, who had a clumsy first lap, seems to decide not to. Yeah, big accident though. Senti Crumpets is off the track, and that's handed the position to Smelly Badger. Is it too wet for these tyres? Or did he just run on the grass? We saw him struggling earlier on in the race. See Passy now trying to go around the outside of the Racing Point car. Racing pointing towards the apex. And now there's contact as he's slow on the apex. Hopefully no carbon fibre flew off the Haas, the American-owned team, trying to make it at one more position to make it a 10-8. Right there, the Irishman considering a move, trying to put it up, and Cator sucking in the power. Sector 3's yellow flags are waving. It's further back, but looks like it might have been JB Ogan. No. Was it Sykovich? No. It's even further back than that. He passed you close, but no cigar. God Colours closer. The rain, look at the horizontal rain here in the sky. You probably can't see it as well as I can. But look at that. Right on the back of it, God Colours not giving up. Wants to get on the podium ahead of Z-Trexter tonight. I'm not sure on penalties right now. Lap 30 out of 34 here. We're close. 5 laps remain of this Grand Prix, and the rain intensifies. Maybe a 5-lap stint on the extreme wet tyres is what we're calling for. Or maybe the drivers will try and push on as hard as they can. Mike Bundy's still a little bit away from the points. He's got 8 seconds to gain if he wants to get even 1 point for the championship leader. The rain has intensified heavily. Sykovich into pit lane. What's he going to get up to? Those are full wet tyres. He has been called in for the extremes. Are we going to see them on all cars? Or is he going to be the only driver to take the risk and try and get it for a late safety car? Only 4 laps remaining of this race though. Sorry, 5 laps remaining of this race. And we can see Yarum looking for his first win in a long time in SFR. I think he won China. No, I'm not sure. I have to look back at the list. But this time, Cator losing a position to Cipazzi. Cipazzi just driving around the outside, doing a brilliant job there as he tries to get his way back forwards. But Cator on the attack, trying to go down the inside. He is right there, hounding the car ahead, and it has made the move stick. Again, contact again for Cator, not leaving any space as now they go chasing after Svenny Badger. Z-Chaser with another time penalty, that might have been the position that takes him out. I'm in the GP3 chat. That's why I'm not getting the right results. Do apologise. Trying to find out if Yaram's actually got a win this season. See Pasley trying to find his way past Centre's Compass, who runs hard on the curb, and this time down the inside of the carousel has his stick. That's the wrong driver. Do apologise for that. And there's Sajkovic on the extreme wets. Maybe he's the driver that is struggling the most. Maybe he came onto them way too early. He's getting out of the way for the P8 drivers, sector 2 and 3. Jonas is lost the position to Mike Bundy. Mike Bundy now got a 10-second gap to try and gain if he wants to get points tonight. Here it is about big moment there for Centre Crumpets. Well done to catch that car. It's starting to struggle, and these drivers clearly, maybe they are being called in saying come on to the blue tyres. They're saying no, it's still drivable. I just imagine whenever drivers say no now. Max Verstappen, when he was asked to swap positions, but he said no. No, I don't want to. No yellow flags as I try and find out if Yaram has got a win. Yaram has... Yeah, he won Italy last week, by the looks of it. I do apologise for getting that wrong. I thought he won China. I think that was Persona, actually. With gold colours now coming up to try and get past Z-Trex. They're both battling. I don't know what the penalty situation is like, so it's a surprise to me. It's a surprise to you. Give you a look at it, though. Scented Crumpets trying to go on the attack once more and see Pasley. Colours the God trying to find his way through as well. But it hasn't happened. Z-Trex are still ahead in P1, P3 even. And Colours the God with 3 laps to go, trying to find any form of movement in that car to get it through. Scented Crumpets dropping another position. I think that it's time for the extreme wets. I think that Sajkovic has got the right idea. But these drivers won't give it up. If he pits, I'll pit. If he doesn't pit, I'm staying out. Look at the amount of oversteer on the Honda powered car. And the Pedal Solheim getting closer. The longer they battle, the closer Pedal Solheim gets. Either driver could take the bait and pit now. But still, penultimate lap of the Grand Prix there for Yaram. He's controlling this race after a collision between James Braden and Honey Badger almost rendered James Braden incoachable. Oh, Z-Chester, big moment! Z-Chester catching the car heavily. Still with that damage front wing. Down the inside, Collins have got a 2-1. Is there going to be contact? There is not contact. As he tries to control the car and get past him, he has a real chance here. Z-Chester flustered after that mistake. And it hasn't happened yet. And now, he's got to hold on. 62 and 3. It's Scented Crumpets out of the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Is that safety car worthy as thunder and lightning reigns here in Germany? Hockenheim showing that it's a wet race as much as we like it. And now, gold colours, he has a chance. Remember, 1 lap to go from this time round. And it's all getting harder. Mike Bundy into the points, salvaging what he can from this race. Z-Trex are struggling. Colours the God. His engine's reset actually, so we can actually hear it. But now here comes Yaram to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Williams looking to take back-to-back victories here in SFR GP2. And the pole sitter out the race, Fotio, probably not looking on as much as he would have hoped. Z-Trexter trying to stay ahead. Gold colours trying to get any form of traction down. What a big moment there. And Pedal Solheim quietly confident. He's thinking he could get a P3 out of this if these two keep driving the way they are. Big moment though. Gold colours losing some time. So we're going to try and stay on board with these guys and think about when Yaram will be crossing the line to win this Grand Prix. If he does in fact go. The conditions are terrible. Look at the fact that Pedal Solheim's almost span. The cool Norwegian starting to lose all sense of gravity as he starts to slide. But he's closer. Those halos are blocking the drivers' views from each other sometimes. Trying to gauge how close they are. but it's close. Not far though, and Yaram, he's in the carousel. He's not put a foot wrong this race. It's back-to-back victories. If he can make it through the final couple of corners, Yaram getting the power down. These wet tyres, possibly the best thing he could hope for. It is, for the first time in SFR in a long time, it's a Williams 1-2. Yaram wins, and James Braden comes home in P2, but James Braden wins on penalties. James Braden is a winner tonight, and Yaram on track wins. Who's going to finish third, though? Is it going to be Gold Colours? Is it going to be Z-Trexter? Or is it Peter Solheim? Gold Colours, Z-Trexter, sorry, on the straight, finishing it. Then Gold Colours, P3. Peter Solheim is P3. Williams, McLaren. Lienel, P6, controlling the car. Whoa, big slide there. And he finishes very comfortably, 30 seconds ahead of his teammate. Mike Bundy on the back, though. He's already finished after being lapped. Sykovic, those tyres just coming into it at the end. Sector 2's yellow flags. But James Braden, look at that. Car scrambling on the in lap there. Whoa, big moment there for James Braden as he slides in. That's his AI before you ask. I was trying to get a nice shot for him of him winning, but you know, guess not. There we go, that'll do. Try and get that there. That's all three of them in one shot there. And James Braden is our winner tonight. 2 wet races in one. And Mike and Yaro's going to be a little bit frustrated. He lost that win on a technicality with the penalties. But James Braden comfortably in P1 by 1.8 seconds on penalties. His first win in GP2. Probably not going to be his last. But is he close enough to win the championship? Celebratory streaks as 3 British teams on the position there. 1 British driver, 1 Scottish driver, and 1 Norwegian driver. I believe he's Scottish. I think Yaram's Scottish. No, he's got the English. I do apologise. I saw blue and I assumed it was Scottish. There we go. Williams happy. Waving in the arms. And this track's lovely. TNL scored 3-5. Yeah. Brilliant race there. So, barring a series of investigations, this is how it lines up. James Braden in P1 ahead of Yaram in P2. Solheim in P3 and Gold Colours in P4. Z-Trexter finishing P5. Lienel P6. Smelly Badger is in P7 and Steve Pasley in P8. Ryan Van Doom is in P9. Mike Bundy finishing out in the top 10 in P10. Outside of the points is T. Jonas, defending champion, in P11, Sykovic in P12, and JV Hogan in P13. Drivers who failed to reach the flag: Scented Crumpets in P14, Luke Beck in P15, Honey Badger is in P16, Oliver in P17, Fotio in P18, Electrodan in P19. But first, let's have a look at these drivers. Let's have a chat with the top 3. We'll get them in once we head to the lobby. As my phone goes off, do excuse me. Alright, so let's get these drivers into the podium. We are looking for... Who are we looking for? Yaram? Let's get him. Oh, excuse me. Go through puberty for a moment there. 17th to 5th, says the Trexter. Yeah, very well done. Let's get Yaram in here. Yaram, James Braden. Where's James Braden? He has to be somewhere around here. Whoops. Have we lost James Braden? No, we haven't lost James Braden from the... oh, come on. Scared, I swear this game hates me. And now we wait to try and find Peter Solheim. There we go. Invited all 3 to the podium chat. Let's have a chat with them. We'll wait and see. So much better. Could have been so much better though. Yeah, it definitely was a interesting race. As James Braden has joined us in the party chat. Same with Peter Solheim.
Hello?
Your voice is a little bit quiet, whoever said that. Might be me. 1 second. There we go. Right. So, just checking on both of you guys. Have you got your voices at the share?
I believe so.
It's incredibly British accent. Yep. I wasn't ready for that. Sorry. Pedder, your voice at the share as well?
Yes.
All right. So we will start with you, Pedder, as you finish in P3. But on the road P5, were you expecting to finish in P3?
Yeah, I'll try, but in the second corner someone came really fast and crashed us out, so I was lucky that I didn't broke anything. But I think my pace was okay all over, so I just tried to do my best and manage the tires as good as I could.
Just take us through that race, though. How difficult was it on those intermediate tyres right at the end?
No, it was like driving a rally car. It was more sideways than straight, so it was really difficult.
So, are you all in all happy with that? I mean, you started P6 and you rushed forward and got up there into P3, obviously on penalties. But nonetheless, you happy with the race?
Yeah, it was an okay race. Didn't quite have the pace to fight the guys, but I tried, so I'm happy.
Looking forward to next week, we're heading off to Azerbaijan for the Baku Street Circuit. How are you feeling? Confident there?
Yeah, I think that is a great track, and I will try to do some prac and do my best. So I'm quite confident.
And are you dreading the prospect of rain being there as well?
No, if it's rain, I think I will crash in the first corner and leave, I think, so I don't hope that it will be rain there, so.
Well, nonetheless, we can hope for an exciting race. Congratulations on P3, my friend, and we will chat to you again at the end of the interviews.
Yep, thank you.
Now, James Braden, you came down from the Premier Division, and you come here and you storm the race. How does that feel?
Yeah, I felt a lot more comfortable in this division, to be fair. I hadn't actually done any practice. I felt really comfortable around Hockenheim, so yeah, good race. Enjoyed it.
So, you were driving in Red Bull in the Premier Division. Is the Williams team any different since you came in? Does the car feel different? Is the environment much different?
Yeah, no, when did I drive Red Bull? I drove Red Bull last year, then I drove Williams with Glocky. Yeah, I actually don't really like the Williams too much, but today it felt a lot better. I've been having problems with tyre warm-ups, and that's why I did I did a warm-up lap before I did my quali lap, and that really helped me. And yeah, I've been focusing on just making sure I have good heat in the tyres, because it's been costing me in the Premier Division.
And obviously, with your points hit 0, do you think you can challenge for the championship, or do you think that's gone, seeing as we are on round 7 now?
No, I'm not challenging for championship, just having good fun. I really enjoyed it today. It was a really good race.
So, you won the race on penalties from your teammate, but do you think if it hadn't been wet, you would have continued on and actually won that race on track?
No, I was to be fair, I really, really focused because I've been doing quite a bit of career mode recently, and I know Germany there's a lot of track warnings, was it extending track limits and all of that, and obviously can result in 3-second penalties. So I was really trying to make sure I was keeping within the boundaries, almost keeping like a tenth, whatever, in my pocket, making sure I didn't go over the white lines. I think I got one penalty throughout the whole, one warning throughout the whole race. So I just made sure that I kept myself in contention, and I was hoping Joachim had a penalty, but I wasn't sure. I knew he had one at the beginning, but I didn't know if he had 2. But I was just trying to get myself, when it was raining, to just within 6 seconds and just pray and hope. I obviously had that crash with, I can't remember the driver's name.
Honey Badger.
Yeah, obviously I'm not sure what happened there. I left the inside open, I went for it, and then he turned in. But obviously anything happens there, it's there. But yeah, I was really happy with my wet pace. I found it alright, to be fair. I thought I struggle in the rain normally on this game, but I thought I drove really well today. At the end, it got a bit tricky because it was definitely full wets, but happy with how it went.
So, anything else you'd rather change about this week's race, or do you think it just went as perfectly as it could have been?
It wasn't perfect because I crashed and spun. Didn't get pole either, but a nice return to form for me. I felt like I was a lot more comfortable in this division. Feel like I can compete more on a regular basis, and yeah, just keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously got Baku next week, and let's see how that goes.
Are you feeling confident for next week?
No, It's not one of my favourite tracks. I've really always, a bit like Hamilton, I've always struggled to get a groove around there. But we'll see how it goes. Wouldn't mind if it rained. Bit of carnage.
Do excuse me. Sorry. Decided to breathe while I was having water. Sorry. So, question to both of you, starting with Pedder and on to you, James. With the 2019 game coming out next month, actually, what do you think? What would be your ultimate wish list for SFR to provide in that game?
Oh, I think it'd be a great game, and I hope we can do 3 divisions and manage to have a high level in GP2 and a really high level in GP1 in Prem. So I hope we can do good in the game. But it will be awesome if we can customize our cars by ourselves. That's my highest hope.
And James?
To be fair, I would just hope, like I said, we can get full grids. I'm sure we will. But yeah, it's nice having 20 drivers. It makes when you win or do a good result, it makes you feel, like you said, you've done a really good job. So fingers crossed we can get full divisions.
Again, no one here mentioning the Formula 2 cars. I guess I'm the only one that likes those ones. But still, congratulations to both of you gentlemen for finishing on that podium, and congratulations to Yaram. Obviously, he couldn't join us for interview, but nonetheless, he did a fantastic job to finish in P2. You guys are now free to go off and do whatever you do at the end of a race. Go have a chocolate cake like I normally do, or do a backflip and then land on your face like I also always do.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
You're free to go. Thank you so much for racing. Alright, so next week we will be heading over to the Baku Street Circuit. As we all mentioned, hopefully I'll have a return of a co-commentator, Alex, to be joining me in GP2. Nonetheless, this has been an absolutely phenomenal race. I really enjoyed commentating on this race, and it's been really entertaining. Obviously, there might be some work for the stewards tonight. I'm not too sure. We'll see what they can get up to later on. But on the race-o-mometer, I believe that this has been a pretty solid 8.5. Exactly the same as I gave to GP3. It's been a nice solid week, nice and entertaining. So, if you want to join us and find out what's happening next week, we're heading over to the Baku Street Circuit. As I mentioned before, that will be Tuesday and Wednesday, and obviously no premiere tomorrow. But we can always hope that we have a full grid for the GP2, GP3 and the GP2 divisions in Baku. So make sure to see if it's more like 2017 and 2018 than the 2019 Baku Street Circuit race in Formula 1. My name is JB. Thank you so much for watching. The SpeedForce Circus will now pack up and head over to Azerbaijan, and we'll see you next week. Have a very good weekend, and I will see you later on. Ta-ra, guys!